Hello, not really feeling at my best today, but I felt that I needed to produce another Sunday soundbite. And today we're going to talk about the tipping point. Um, excuse me a minute. In change management, we often hear the term the tipping point, yeah? And it's used when leaders are talking about how many impacted stakeholders need to be seen to support the change before it can be deemed to become successful. It's usually shown in terms of percentage, X% of stakeholders. Yeah? Depending on what figure is used, and believe me, there are many variations, a lot of work may then be done to try and get resistors to become supporters so that the tipping point percentage, whatever it may be, can be reached. A tipping point is actually the critical threshold or moment at which a small change or event causes a significant, often irreversible shift in the status of a system, a trend, or process. It's when momentum builds to the extent that what was once incremental becomes exponential, leading to a dramatic change in direction or outcome. The term is actually commonly used in various contexts, such as sociology, and psychology. A tipping point can refer to the moment when an idea or behavior or social trend crosses a threshold and rapidly spreads, like a viral trend on social media or the rapid adoption of a new technology. It's used in economics. In economics, it might refer to the point at which certain market conditions change fundamentally, leading to a major shift in consumer behavior or economic outcomes, okay, such as the collapse of a bubble or the rapid adoption of a disruptive innovation. It's also used in environmental science. Yeah? In environmental science, a tipping point is the actual point at which gradual environmental changes trigger rapid and potentially catastrophic effects, such as the collapse of an ecosystem due to climate change. The concept of a tipping point implies that once the tipping point is reached, change accelerates and becomes difficult or impossible to reverse. Do you want to really reverse change? No, you don't. So some use the tipping point. I'm talking about my coffee now. Some use the tipping point in change management when it comes to stakeholder support, as I mentioned previously. This has been influenced by various studies and theories. The three most commonly referenced figures provide insights into the percentage or of supportive stakeholders required to reach a tipping point for a successful change. Everett Rogers, what he calls his diffusion of innovators theory, he says for change to gain momentum, you needed buy-in from about 15 to 20% of the population. There's the 10% rule. Some research suggests that once 10% of a population adopts an idea, it can quickly spread to the majority. Then there's good old John Cotter's 75% rule, and we talked about John Cotter and resistance in a previous soundbite, didn't we? Cotter suggests that for major organizational change to be successful, 75% of leadership or stakeholders need to support the change. Now, I'm not sure which one you agree with. From my perspective, I think I'll go with Cotter this time rather than against him like I did last time, because I believe the more people that support change, the better the outcome. Yeah, but there's actually quite a few other ones. There's Malcolm Gladwell's tipping point theory, which suggests that a small action at a certain threshold can actually cause significant widespread change. There's a social contagion theory, which focuses on the interconnections of individuals and how behaviours are contagious in social networks. There's a critical mass theory, which states that change can be non-linear, which we know it is anyway, with small changes accumulating over time until they reach a tipping point, okay, leading to a sudden shift in the system. There's the threshold models of collective behaviour, okay, and this basically, it's a Granovetter's theory. Yeah? That's a hard one to actually say. It says that some people sort of low threshold individuals will adopt change early, while others, high threshold individuals, will wait until a larger number of others have actually adopted the change before they do. There's the influencer theory, which suggests that influencers have social capital, credibility, and a wide network of relationships that allow them to act as catalysts for change. And finally, without getting you too bored, there's the adaptive leadership theory by Heifetz and Linsky. Suggests that change happens when enough people are actually willing to face difficult and adaptive challenges and adjust their behaviors and mindsets. What's the conclusion of all this? Okay, what's the upshot basically? While the exact percentage of supportive stakeholders needed to reach a tipping point can vary wildly, in the context, these theories collectively highlight the importance of actually leveraging social dynamics, key influences, and the broader organizational environment. They also underscore the idea that change, again, we know, is often, now it is, very non-linear, and reaching a tipping point may actually involve understanding not just how many people support the change, but who supports it and how they influence others. Did you find that interesting? A little bit academic, giving all those different theories, but I thought you needed to know. So it's been quite a long, well, not quite a long one, it's just under 7 minutes. So once again, I will see you next time. Cheers.